Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Um, y'all see the thumbnail. Terence Crawford might just have to fight Jaron Boots Ennis after all. All we saying is stop with the lies. Stop with the narrative. If I have to prove it over and over again, that would be my mission. Because, the man deserves some credit. He deserves some transparency. Talking about Terence Crawford. And for people to be upfront. Boost, you don't even have to go this route. You that good of a fighter. You don't have to go this route. But I gotta expose you. And so we'll get into that and other stuff. But y'all know the drill. First, let's turn to Welcome back to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Y'all see the thumbnail. We're going to talk about Jaron Boots Ennis a little bit and Terence Crawford and the predicament all of them find themselves in. It's interesting, but it kind of pisses some boxing fans off. But that's why we're going to talk about it. But y'all know what I do at the top of my hour. It's a water check. We believe here at Boxing Fans Talk TV that 2024 and beyond, nobody should be dehydrated. That causes lingering problems. And remember, I don't care what campaign you go on to try to be healthy or to get in shape or anything. If water is not included, it's not going to work. You're going to get the big goose egg. You're going to fail epically. So we know that a lot of people don't like to drink water. So we say at least 2 times a day you should drink water. That's first thing in the morning before your toes hit the ground and you get off in your morning routine. Have 8 ounces sitting on the nightstand. Learn to drink your water room temperature. I like mine preferably cold, but you can drink it however you want. Think of the body as an engine and the water as a lube. Helps things move in a timely and efficient manner. And that's what you want your body to do, so it can do what you want it to do. The second time is at night when you get out the shower and you're about to go to bed. Drink 8 ounces of water then too. Because the American Heart Association agrees that drinking water before bed helps the body out a lot. Apparently, your body goes through a lot of workouts, a lot of work being done. At night in your sleep, you don't even feel it. A lot of reads going on. Revamping, rebooting, recharging, recreating, redirecting, all kinds of reads. And that take a lot of work and it spend a lot of energy. So you need water to help that move in a timely and efficient manner. And besides, the average person burns between 900 and 1,000 calories at night in a deep sleep, not a cat nap, but a deep sleep. So we say, drink your water. Drink your water. The water makes the body good, not milk, water. You need sunlight too. Salt, as well. But drink your water. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get some housekeeping. Please, please, please hit that like and share and subscribe button. If you've already subscribed, you don't need to hit it again. We got you locked in. But please hit the like and share button. And when you're watching me on replay, leave a comment, question, or statement. I'll get back to you. I'll discuss it. Even if we don't agree on whatever, I still get back and we have a pleasant conversation. You can also reach me at boxingfanstalk@gmail.com. That's boxingfanstalk@gmail.com for your questions, concerns, statement, or disagreements. I get back with you there too. As I told y'all, I go through a tay-to-tay with YouTube. I don't know why. They take away my views. I still don't know why. I ain't figured it out. But I wrote them. I'm still waiting on that answer. But my only monetization is Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's Boxing Fans Talk TV. That's the Cash App. And I do come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's I ain't got nothing to talk about. And you guys know my hands are full, getting ready for a wedding and getting ready to move out the state. But I do come on around those times. Like I said, this ain't nothing to talk about. But we got a little to talk about. So we know things have gotten juggled up. We know since Jermell Charlo fought Charlo, things got juggled up. We knew he wasn't gonna win that fight, but we hoped he did. Then we hoped he win. He won, but he didn't. When he fought that fight, his belt was taken from him. He was the next step for Terence Crawford. And Terence Crawford said as much. When I'm done with him, meaning Errol Spence, former 3-divisional champion, he said, when I'm done with him, you next. And he always felt that Jermell really wasn't no competition for him. Okay, before Jermell started the first round with Canelo, the damn IBF, or not that, who was it? They stripped him. They stripped the one, he got his belt took, and I think it was the IBF. No, the WBO, I'm sorry. The WBO, look, I got to get my bearings straight. The WBO stripped him. And they elevated, or I can't remember if he fought. Y'all let me know in the chat if he fought, if Tim Tszyu fought somebody for the belt, but Tim Tszyu wound up becoming the champion. That kind of threw a monkey wrench in everything, because at that point, Terence Crawford, if they let Jermell keep his belts, he would have had 2 avenues to go at to fight either Canelo if Canelo so wishes. But definitely he could have petitioned to fight Jermell Charlo. And we was like, man, that would be 3 times undisputed. So for Terence Crawford fans, and I am one as far as transparency go, I am a Terence Crawford fan. I was hoping everything went like that. But that's where the monkey wrench started for Crawford's opportunities or avenues he could go down. He wasn't worried about Boots Ennis. Neither was Errol. Errol Spence was never gonna fight Boots Ennis. If you guys say that Errol Spence was growing out the weight class, the only time y'all said it is when he fought Terence and lost. But all the other fights that he had at that same weight class and won, he wasn't growing out the weight class. But when he fought Terence, you know how that went. But if he was growing out the weight class, then I say even more, he was never going to fight Boots Ennis. But Boots Ennis, to be fair to Terence and Errol, that was looking backwards. That's all it was. Ain't nothing personal. He was looking backwards. And I'm sorry, Boots wasn't on their level. He had to wait his turn. And he had to wait as patiently as everybody else had to wait. He don't have a monopoly on people, stiff-arming him, avoiding him, and not giving him a chance. Terence Crawford could say that. Errol Spence could say that. So Boots don't have a monopoly on that issue. Mark Nash is in the building. What's popping, King? He said, smash that like button. Smash it, I say, on your way in the room. ATL Unanimous Boxing Sports is in the building. Was popping king. He said Boots on his ass. You would like that, wouldn't you? My man Jerry Tasker is in the building. Was popping king. He said after Charlo got stripped, Bud lost interest. Bud wanted us UST. I don't know what you mean. Bud wanted to just fight for undisputed in one fight. Probably so, Jerry. Probably so. But I ain't gonna say he took Jermell Charlo off the table. He just wasn't coming off like he was pressed as much. So everybody was like, what he gonna do? What he gonna do? Now the Terence Crawford haters would love for him to fight Boots Ennis. But like I just said, Boots don't have a monopoly on getting stiffed arm. Earl Spence went through it with Keith. Crawford went through it with Earl. Boots went through it with both of them. Boots done it to Blair to Flair. I mean, it's what they do. A lot of us don't like it. Boxing fans don't like it. But it come with the territory, don't it? We got to eat that. That's one of the ones we got to eat. Yeah, I said it. Podcast is in the building. What's popping, King? He said, what's popping, Miss T? ATL said, I just want to see good fights straight up. All of us do, ATL. Jerry said, but I think Bud is too experienced for Boots. But it will be a very competitive fight. I agree with you, Jerry. I agree with you. But let me just lay down some facts, right? And I'm going to show you receipts to back up everything I say. First, I'm going to say it, then I'm going to go back and show it. I can't show certain video clips because YouTube is a lot more stringent these days. And I don't feel like dealing with them and their blockade and all this crap. So facts number one. And sometimes you got to go back. But if you try to go back nowadays, it's the internet is just inundated. I don't know how to ask the question. Go back to this year. I've tried every which way, but Sunday to ask the question to go back 5 years, 4 years, whatever. But it just keep talking about the current stuff. So I have to deal with what I got to deal with. June 18th. Last Mando was the last mandatory fight that Spence had for the IBF. We know that Spence got the WBC and the WBA relatively quickly, back to back. But he held on to the IBF for a long time. We also know, this is another fact, that when you become champion or interim champion or Reggie belt champion, you cease to be nominated or ranked in other sanctioning bodies. For instance, Earl Spence was the top dog at IBF, WBA, and WBC, but he was not even ranked in the WBO. And Terence Crawford, being the WBO champion, wasn't ranked in the other three belts. Y'all know that, right? But if you look at the WBO ranking today, Earl Spence is ranked in there. Why? Because he's not a champion anymore. But when you are a champion, you don't get ranked in the other sanctioning body belts. If you become the number one contender, or like what they call the interim champion or the Reggie belt, whatever them extracurricular belts they got, you cease to be ranked in that too. That's how you can get yourself taken out of another ranking, as Boots did. You can get taken out of it. So this narrative that I've heard, maybe people ain't doing it on purpose, but I heard people say, well, Sean Porter was the mandatory for Earl. And the only reason I can think some people are saying that is because they don't want to hear the fact that Earl don't fight his mandatories. Because for a while, he wasn't. And for a while, he only had one belt. When he fought Sean, he turned right around and got the other belt. Not too long after that. So that is a factual statement. That's not a hit against Earl. But if you using your common sense, here's two different champions. Both have a belt. One of them honor his mandatory and one of them don't. I'm in line to fight both. I'm in the top rankings to fight both. Which one do I pick? That's the predicament that Boots was in. And he rather Earl. But his excuse is, I'd rather go for Earl because he had all three belts. Boots, you was going for that long before Earl had those three belts. So why even say that? I don't know. You can look back and see that he been going for Earl. 2022 was not his first time trying to get at Earl. He was doing that long before. And 2022 and 23, he was doing it. So to even say that statement, it confuses people because you paint the narrative like once Terence Crawford fought David Avenesian, then we put in for a petition to fight Spence, and Spence had all the belts. Well, when the other three belts, that's what he said, right? But December 10th, 2022, Spence did not have. Did he? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get my story straight. He fought Terrence July 29th, 2023. April he got 2022. So he had his third belt by April 2022. But Boots is saying that he had all three belts, and that's the reason why he went, or he rathered Errol Spence. But so let's get back to the facts. Boots rathered Errol Spence long before that. I know what he saw. I ain't mad at him. Just say it. Don't renege on it. Y'all hit the like button, please. April 16, 2022, Spence won the WBA from Ugas. That's when he got all three. And he said after that fight, I want Terence Crawford come to take your shit. I can't verbatim say it, but it went something like that. But you remember September 8th, 2018, Sean Porter won the WBC from Danny. And then later he fought Earl. And then he fought Ugas. I know y'all probably said, why does all that matter? Boots petitioned the IBF to be the Mando for Spence several times. He wrote letters, texts. He wrote everybody but Santa Claus. That's a joke. But he petitioned several times, and we know that. Bozy is on a clip, and again, I cannot play these video clips, but Bozy is on a clip, and the clip is by a Will Esco. He wrote the article basically detailing what was in the clip, and you can look it up by Will, W-I-L Esco, E-S-C-O. And he on the video clip, and it was dated October 28th. He said, hey, we waiting on the answer now. We already put in for to be the mandatory for Spence. The problem with that is you waiting on the answer now. You already put in for to be the Mando for Spence since Crawford and Spence didn't do their fight in 2022. That fell apart. October 21st, around about that time, somebody wrote an article, or it was announced that Crawford would fight David Avenesian. Could have been that night before, but somewhere October 21st. And you telling me 7 days later, Bozy is saying, we already put in. We're just waiting on the answer. So you really believe that he thinks that you could put in a petition and less than a week later you're going to get your answer? If the world didn't know about David Avenesian and Crawford fighting to October 21st, and Bozy is on tape saying, hey, we already put it in. We just waiting on the answer on the 28th, 7 days later. You mean to tell me it's not true that he put in to fight Spence in September, or he petitioned in September of that year? Because that's when we found out that he petitioned to fight Spence. or get out of line with the WBO. That's when he petitioned. So January 23rd, you got Bozy or somebody who wrote an article talking about how Boots and them, or he, sent letters to the IBF, long text messages, all kinds of stuff, and that's when they came up with you got 120 some days or whatever the case, 180 days. Crawford and Spence for July 29, 2023. Boost had two eliminators, Cussio Clayton and that Kuchimaka kind of guy. I can't pronounce his name. I'm sorry. I don't mean to butcher it. Two title eliminators. You was already number one contender. So there's an article by John, by I guess the guy name is Donovan or something. Or I can't remember. Or some, I saw it in Boxing Scene as well. October 23rd, Ennis petitions the IBF. Remember, the word didn't come out until October 21st. So even if you give Bozy this and say when the word came out the 21st, they right away petitioned the IBF, and on the 28th they said we waiting next week we should get the answer. It would be one thing to say we already put the petition in, we just gotta wait. He said next week we should get our answer. No boxing commission moves that fast, or sanctioning body. They don't move that fast. You put in a petition, they gotta form a meeting, and they gotta talk about it. It don't move that fast, not at all. So all this talk about a lot of people who don't like Terence Crawford or old Earl fans, they actually want that fight to go down. I don't care either way. I think Crawford would beat him, just like Jerry. I feel the same way like Jerry feel. I think Crawford is too experienced. He's gonna catch him slipping because Jaron do slip. You know, that time he couldn't. Y'all say that guy ran from him in the ring. That guy used the ring. He was what you call it, ring generalship, ring IQ. Jaron's supposed to know how to cut the ring off, and he didn't. You can't do that with a fighter like Crawford. You better know how to move them legs and better not be making no kind of mistakes. So this is the first thing I want to show y'all. I think this, remember, I'm just showing you the rankings. I went back and looked them up. Y'all should be able to see this. Look at Jaron Ennis right there. This was November 21st. We know November 2021. We know that it's in this year that Crawford fought Porter on the 20th of November 2021. Look where Jaron Ennis was. You don't even see Porter's name on the list anymore. You don't even see it. But look where he was. And even at this point, we knew, according to the WBO president, Jermaine, even if we didn't know, behind the scenes, we later found out that he turned down an opportunity to fight Crawford twice. But again, I implore all of you, just type in Google WBO rules and watch how it tells you that the 1, 2, and 3 has a chance to petition the sanctioning body to make a mandatory. So right here, Jaron Ennis was in prime position to get the fight. But we know that Porter took it. Look where he at, number 2. He might as well be number 1. Eventually, he did turn number 1. ATL said Crawford had on BLK shorts versus Sean Porter. Huh? What does that mean? Crawford had on BLK shorts versus Sean Porter. I'm not sure what you mean. Joseph Bailey is in the building. What's popping, Key? Y'all hit that like button when y'all coming through. Said Miss T. Al Moolah is in the building. Miss T, what up? What's up? What's popping, King? Joseph Bailey said, E Thriller, Al Prophet, salute. E-Thriller, our prophet. Salute. Okay. E3 in here. But I'm just showing y'all this. This was November. Sean Porter and Crawford fought on the 20th of this month, right here. Jaron Ennis right there. Sean Porter petition. But like I said, I could bring up the WBO rules. I've done that before, and I ain't gonna waste y'all time because y'all could do it easy. While I'm talking right now, y'all could pull that fucking WBO rules, and you can read how a person in the top 3 slots can petition the WBO to become the mandatory and force a fight with Crawford. He could have, as y'all see. He said, go E3. What up? Where E3 at? Man, I must have missed him. Okay. Well, if you ain't here, E3, what's up, my brother? What's poppin', King? ATL said, I watched they fight today. Did you? That was a good fight. ATL, Al Money said, ATL, what's up? Y'all saying what's up? Okay, that's November. Let me go back to my other ones. And they out of order, but you will get the gist. January 2023. Because I told you I'm going to show y'all everything, and then I'm going to show you the other receipts, and then you can look at it how you look at it. So right here, you got Virgil Ortiz. He's a non-factor, so I'm not even really counting him. He declined. Keith Thurman, some kind of way, when he became the mandatory for Errol Spence, he got taken off the list. Alexis Rocha, this is what it was January 23. As y'all see, there is no Boots in his name. Nowhere to be found. Why? Because by then, the IBF was like, you know what, Boots? All your campaign and writing letters to Santa Claus, we're going to go ahead and grant you what you asked for. Because remember, Errol Spence was slated to fight Keith Thurman that February. But he had the little fender bender with the 14-year-old boy in a non-insurance truck or whatever it was, and tore up his armor-plated car against a regular old truck that didn't have insurance. that didn't make sense. Make that make sense. But either way, he's not on the list. That shows you proof he moved himself out. Crawford had a fight with David Avenesian December 10th. I just showed you as far back as 2021, Jaron Ennis was in perfect position to petition for a fight. Because as we know, Virgil won't do it. Joseph said, yeah, I said podcast, Missy. Okay. Yeah, I said it podcast. Said, what up, Joe Cool and Moolah in chat. Okay. So let's look at this next one because I just was grabbing them. Right here, December 2022. Again, he's right there. Really number one. Because we definitely know by now that WBO president came out on Ness show, I think. Shout out to Ness. And said, oh, Virgil turned it down twice. Whenever the WBO president came out, this what was going on in the background. So Virgil Ortiz was never a factor. Whether we knew it or not, he had been offered and he turned it down. Boost, you right there. Again, do you fight somebody who fight their mandatories or do you fight somebody who don't? So when I say the duck number one came from this, you was in position, had the opportunity. So when you say stuff like, now don't run from me or something, he said as much as that. I don't know who he was saying that to about Crawford. Now we don't need you to be running. Nigga, ain't nobody ever ran. If anybody ran, it was you. And I don't even say you ran. But the narrative that you want to act like for a long time, you won't trying to go the IBF route when you were. Hence the 2 title eliminators. Custio Clayton and Cucamonga. You was the one running. But that's how you want to present the narrative. That type of stuff only pisses Terence Crawford off. So here is September 2022. You right there. You right there. So next time y'all interview him, ask him. All the people who got a podcast. Mark Nash, Yeah, I Said It podcast. All of y'all, if y'all get a chance to interview Boots Ennis, ask him. You right there. You pretty much number one. Oh, this January 2001. This is when Sean Porter was number one. Boots was number 7. Sean Porter did it. Why you couldn't do it? He was number 5 in August. But right there, number 2. Okay. So let me see. This on the other page. So let me get this off, and let me show you the things that I read. I really did try to go way back, trying to find my way back, way back. I was trying. I was trying. Let me see. Y'all give me a second, because I just pulled up a bunch of stuff. Okay. When I told y'all, let me get back to the page. When I told y'all that I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me know if y'all can see it. There it is right there, but I can't see it that much. So I gotta go to the page itself. So don't mind me clicking in between. But when I told y'all that, you know, you can see certain articles and certain things that they're talking where it shows that he really was like avoiding Terence Crawford. And that's probably why Terence was ignoring you. I mean, Earl Spence ignored what's his name? Keith Thurman for the same basic reason. Remember? Earl Spence don't like Keith Thurman. Why? Because he tried to pull a fast one on him. He kept avoiding him and stiff arming him. But you see who this is by Manok Okipayan. It was published on October 21st. I highlighted it, I know. Let me see. Oh, I thought I did. Look at me. I think it was there in the bottom. Shit, where it is? Okay, I highlighted. It must have went off. Well, they saying that it wasn't committed to the undisputed fight. We all know why that didn't happen. And David Avenese and all this stuff. But it was on here where Boots has said that agreed to be division champion. I'm trying to look for it. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna probably have to find it again. I hope my highlights didn't go away. Oh shit. All my highlights went away. Well, right here you see Ennis filled that void following his second round knockout with Custio Clayton. This was back again before that time. Man, I'm at a loss for words, man. I had this stuff highlighted. Well, right here they said, I'm gonna highlight this. It said Spence has not made a mandatory defense of any title since December 2020. Points win over Danny Garcia would satisfy his WBC commitment, and that's a commitment by the WBC. but no IBF commitment. He inherited Stanionis as WBA mandatory, while his last fight against the IBF's number one contender came more than 4 years ago in June 2018 for the first round knockout of Carlos and Ocampo. The point is, Stanionis and Boots have both been petitioning the IBF trying to get the Spence fight, you know. Then look, he fought Cody Crowley December 11th. Ennis filled that void. Stanionis has paperwork that say he's owed a shot at the main title, while the IBF will come before the WBC in this rotation process that comes with mandatories for unified titleists. So I have a lot of them, y'all. Hold on. Over here 3 years ago, he said, I think I might have to be the mandatory challenger to get a title shot. He was talking about Spence. I'm so pissed that my shit is not highlighted. This was a while ago. This was February 15, 2022. Jaron Ennis, custody of Clayton, IBF orders March 1st purse bid. But they came to an agreement. But the point is, they were title eliminators for the IBF. So he was going for the what you call him, Ennis. Ennis has emerged as a promising welterweight contender through his career progress, still trailing his supreme skill set. The 24-year-old Philly native has been regularly featured on Showtime, including a pair of knockout wins in 2021. Ennis scored a one-sided 6-round stoppage of former IBF junior welterweight title Sergey Lipinets. I mean, how many fights did he fight for this IBF? You know, but it shows you that he had rathered. But now when they talk, he's like he's been waiting for Terence the whole time. Oh, this one kept it. This was December 12th, 2001. While Crawford would love nothing more than to dethrone Spence Jr., it's likely that Jaron Ennis will now be elevated to the number one position. The explosive Philadelphia native currently ranks number 3 in the sanctioning body, but with the recent loss of Abdukakora, I can't say his name, y'all see it, and with the number 2 slot currently unoccupied, Ennis appears primed and ready to move one step closer to fighting for his first world title. As for Spence Jr., the 31-year-old continues his recovery process following the right eye surgery to correct the torn detached retina. Now, when did that happen? That was the year that Ugas beat Pacquiao. If Spence beat Ugas in 2022, now let's get this straight. If Spence beat Ugas April 16, 2022, then him and Crawford did not fight until July 29, 2023. But right in this write-up, he's saying Ennis is primed for the title shot. And then they go into what title shot? Is it Bud or Spence? We know he petitioned for Spence. We see him in prime position that he could have petitioned for the WBO to face Crawford, but he never did. But the detached retina happened the year before, 2021. I showed y'all where he was on the list from 2021 up. Now, I'm hoping y'all see all this because I'm clicking through it on this side, but I'm hoping y'all see all this. Okay. It said his father, Derek Boots Ennis, sent a series of letters, long text messages, he said, to IBF President Daryl Peoples and asked why Spence was not required to defend his title against the number one contender. Ennis, who also trains his son told Peoples that Spence had not fought a mandatory challenger in 4 years. They were gunning, as I said before, a long time ago, that they was always gunning for Spence, not Crawford. Joseph Bell said, everybody drink more spring water this year. Yes, yes, Joe. I love it. I get my fresh, free spring water every day. I fill up 2 5-gallon tanks for my water cooler. The spring water sprout is down the street. I use pool stuff to test the water every time. I don't drink it unless I test it. It's real quick and easy to make sure that it's good alkaline water or close to it. And it come out to about 6.9. Alkaline is over 7, but 7 is good. 7 is normal. But my whole point is the narrative that, or the predicament that they find themselves in. Spence was the one that Boots was gunning for, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Boots, if you listening, was nothing ever wrong with that. What's wrong with that is that you trying to change the narrative, and you might just touch Bud's pride like he asked you to in the first place. You were in prime position. You know, I showed y'all the rankings. I showed you certain articles. I cannot play no video clip because I don't want to get struck or strike or whatever they call it. But the petitioning for the IBF on Boots' part, he been doing that a long time. He do it through text. He do it through letters, informally and formally. He been doing it for a minute. How can they write an article about Boots on October 23rd, petitioning the IBF, and the world finds out October 21st that Crawford is going to fight David Avanesian? If the reason that you petitioned the IBF was simply because Crawford and Spence won't go fight, or it didn't look like they announced the fight with David Avanesian, and you can say, yeah, we heard that on the 21st, and so by the 23rd or the 21st or 22nd, we put in the petition. But you can't expect everybody to believe, and y'all got to use your common sense, that by the 28th, he actually say, we waiting now, any day now. We probably have the answer by next week. What sanctioning body move that fast? When it's a petition, it don't work that fast. If it's a petition, then they're gonna come out and say something. When Sean Porter petitioned to fight Crawford, and there was a lot of mix up or hoopla because of the different promoting companies. You know, that's why Sean had to go that route or whatever. He wound up getting the highest pay he ever did. PBC won't giving him that type of pay. But what they came out and said, they actually came out and said, y'all got to fight. Y'all got to get this together. Y'all got to. They gave him dates. You got to get this thing together by this date. And Bob and them did the deed in the midnight hour, like the night before the last. Like if the last day was Tuesday, they did it in the midnight hour of Monday. That's how that went. But we heard them tell Sean and tell PBC and tell Bob Arum, y'all better get it together because y'all got to this thing, or it's going to a purse bid. Boots Ennis, you didn't hear shit like that until January of the next year, when they said, hey, you got 180 days to get this fight together. That's how you know that committee or whoever they are per sanction body who got your petition got together ruled on it, because as soon as they make a ruling, they come right out with it. You can't have an article written October 23rd and say, yeah, by the 28th, you on somebody's video clip saying, yeah, we waiting on the answer now, as if you actually put that thing in October 23rd. The word on the street then was you put it in September. But as I showed y'all, that same year, even in December of 2022, Boots was in position. In November of 2022, Boots was in position. In September of 2000 and October 2022, Boots was in position to mandate a fight with Crawford, and the Spence and Crawford fight would have had to wait, and you would have been a champion. I don't know what the difference between WBO or the WBC or WBA and IBF as far as which one is really a champion. All four of them are champion. Anybody feeling like the WBO wasn't really a real belt, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to the people because you're trying to fit a narrative. But if y'all are backed in the corner now and y'all got to face each other, okay, so be it. I wasn't mad at Crawford ignoring him. I wasn't mad at all. But if y'all got to fight each other, that's what it is. But don't come with the lies like, this time don't be running from me. What? What, nigga? Who was running from you the first time? You know what I'm saying? Are you running from Blair to Flair? Or were you dismissing Blair to Flair because he won't on your level as you felt in professional boxing at the time he was begging you to fight? Do you call that running? I mean, is it running that you ran your ass over to a person who won't go never give you the fight and on record since 2018 for not facing his mandatories under the belt that you petitioned? We know that Errol Spence eventually got several other belts, but the belt that you was petition Boots was the IBF. And he hadn't fought a mandatory, Errol Spence, since June of 2018. So what makes you think he was going to fight you? And he was slated to fight Keith Thurman that February of 2023, which he told everybody who would listen, I ain't never going to fight this dude. And he kept his word. But you ran to that one. That was more promising than facing a person who has a real sanctioning body belt in Terence Crawford, and you was number one to boot. And Terence always fight his mandatories. Which one would y'all pick? Miss me with that. Earl had all three belts. You've been begging them to fight for a long. You've been moving in such a way to get a fight with Earl for some time now. Go back to Custio Clayton. Go back to Chukamanga. Go back. Just go back. You've been edging. I just read some of these articles that was talking about you prime and you in line. You've been chasing Earl Spence for a minute. Elise Paris is in the building. Was Papa King said Bud will cook Boots. Indeed. It will probably be a competitive fight. But Boots, I don't know. Maybe I be hoping sometimes people like Boots and them be watching. Because I be actually like, dude, listen to me. You are that good. You don't have to go through all this. Just be like I might got an opportunity to fight Terence Crawford. I mean, a monkey wrench has definitely been thrown in the plans with Keith Thurman fighting Tim Tszyu. Terence could have went that route. And then he would have been 4 division champion. Eventually, he would have fought Jamel for some of them belts. But now you got Fundora fighting for a belt. Didn't he just get knocked out? So we don't know what they're doing. I think, me personally, and I would love to hear what you guys think, I think they moving this chessboard in a way that they can get the fights that they want. It ain't always necessary. It's always been like that. It ain't necessarily gonna be the fights that we want, but they are listening to us a little bit because a lot of people do want to see Boots and Terence fight. Why? Because any nigga would do. Any nigga that can beat Bud would do because they need that to happen. Ali said Boots versus Spence first. Then we talk about Bud and Boots. Indeed. You were so pressed with Spence. Keep going. Keep going. Terence can fight what's his name after Keith Thurman fight him. If Keith wins, kudos for Keith. Keith might feel like, well, damn, I definitely need to stay at 154. This a filling out process for Keith. But the WBO was like, we can't rank you in a weight class that you never been. We not gonna do that. We not gonna skip over everybody else just to give you a solid. We not gonna do that, sir. No, we not gonna do that. That's what the WBO was saying. So this fight with Keith Thurman is not even for a belt. Tim Tszyu could lose and he would still be the WBO champion. And Terence could come right behind that and fight him. And maybe Keith will be ready. But if anybody want to make noise about Keith Thurman, then, his latest, Keith Thurman was like, I'm ready for all y'all niggas. I'm ready for everybody. Now you say that. But when you almost had an opportunity to face Terence Crawford, don't we remember when Keith Thurman said, give me 8 months? 8 months, nigga, what? 8 months? He said, we all know what's on that contract. Stop. What you mean what's on that contract? Stop the cap. How am I capping? Nigga, now I got to drop this line. What do you mean? Stop the capping, ATL. What did I say that wasn't true? They're not fighting for a belt. So if Keith Thurman win or lose, Terence Crawford still can petition and fight and get ahead of the line and fight Tim Tszyu. And if you don't believe me, you need to go pull up the WBO rules. That's how they do it. How you think he got before everybody else in the 147 and fought Jeff Horn? Because you can do that when you're a WBO champion. You can go up or down, and you can get head of the line privilege. So what do you mean stop the cap? The link right there for you. So it talk about Earl and Crawford. Yo, all of us want to see this. Y'all go get y'all shirts. I be wearing my shit all the time. It's wishful thinking or something. Go get your shirts. Go to axmet51.com. Don't slip on that. Go get your shirt. It's real simple. Order that joint. I think it's $23 or $24. Hey, go get your shirt. It's a nice shirt. But he said Mel is on long vacation. Yeah, he got some legal problems. But what I said about Tim Tszyu, if Keith Thurman beat Tim Tszyu, he gets no belt. Tim Tszyu is still the bona fide, verified WBO champion. Nothing changes in this fight. If Tim Tszyu loses or wins, he's, like I said, he's still whatever. Keith Thurman is filling out. My guess is why they put him up there, because they owe him. And PBC is going to stick with what they know. A lot of people don't want to admit it, but Al Hammond failed with the PBC as far as the networks and all that shit, because he was putting on trash and he was whatever. Regardless of what 2023 was, 2022 and 2021 was trash. So that's why Paramount said, and Paramount owned Showtime, was like, nah, we done with y'all. Y'all put on some trash shit. Y'all ain't get us no viewers. We done with you. So anybody acting like, oh, that came out of nowhere. No, we been knew. We been knew that was coming. But Keith Thurman is the reason. He's one of the reasons why PBC had the reputation they had in the first place. Why they was a hot ticket item for some years in the first place. So I think it's a strategy that PBC is doing. It ain't bad. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. People like Keith Thurman, Deontay Wilder, Leo Santa Cruz, all of them made PBC what it is. So now the new launch or the relaunch of PBC with a different network, Amazon Prime, why don't you run it with people that you know on the books can draw in people? That's all that is. Plus, they owe him. That's why Keith Thurman was going around all the time talking about that $10 million because they owe him. If you listen to Deontay, Mickey Bay, and Adrian Broner, PBC didn't pay them all the time on time. Elise said, I wanted to see Zoo and Mel. Me too. ATL said, I'm coming. I'm coming. Elise said, they hating Keith probably. Yeah, they hating Keith, but Keith is their darling. He's their darling. And he can sell a fight. I ain't saying he a big time pay-per-view star. Nobody is. We had a couple of people crack $1 million, and that's Canelo and Triple G and Bryant and Tank. Abdul now. Abdul Wahid. That's why I hate to say the name because I don't want to butcher it. But Mr. Abdul, a.k.a. Tank. Those are the only people that broke $1 million. Everybody else didn't get that much. Nobody, not Earl. Earl got more than Terence. Whoopi. But he wasn't a pay-per-view star. Boots is not even a pay-per-view nothing. At least David Avanesian or Ryan Garcia, who is not better than Boots by no means, at least they could say they was on pay-per-view. Boots can't even say it. He can't say it. And Boots was not signed to PBC. He wasn't even signed to Showtime at the time that Bozy said that Crawford team did come to him before the Avenese fight. But look how quickly Boots wound up on the rankings, and he wound up on the rankings for the IBF in what, January? Crawford fought in December. Bozy said they came to him. You ain't got to take my word for it. Y'all have seen that clip. Bozy said he came for him. And he directed him to Steven. And y'all can look at my podcast, E-Thrillers, a whole bunch of people podcasts, and they can show you where arguments were made that Paramount Plus been said way before this year that they was getting rid of Showtime. So that wasn't no shock. Everybody was waiting for the shoe to drop. And according to Bozy, they had an affiliation or an association with Showtime, which ain't bad. I ain't mad at him. But to prove his point, he said, and guess what? And we won't even sign to him. It was all about the loyalty. Together we stand, divided we fall. We tighter than pantyhoses, 2 times small. Bruce Gas is in the building. What's Papa King said? Hey, MSTA to you. That's what Bozy was saying. He was doing that. JJ Popo. Him and Steven. That's what it was. And Steven was affiliated with Showtime, as y'all know. So Boots had a good relationship with them. He was not legally bound. But I see now we're going to have, a mess on our hand, even if they do fight. I don't know if Boots Boots is kind of passive aggressive when it comes to Crawford, but he can say some things that'll piss Crawford off. I mean, a lot of y'all say y'all don't like Bernie, but ain't nothing Bernie ever said that didn't come true. He said, we're going to beat the stuffing out of him. We're going to beat the stew out of him. When he was talking about Earl Spence, it didn't happen. He didn't say nothing that wasn't true, but y'all don't like him. Because he arrogant, he come off cocky or whatever. But he's no different than those guys who be arrogant and cocky when it comes to Devin Haney. Devin Haney got a hype man. And I'm not calling Bernie a hype man, but he speaks truth to the boxing community about Terence Crawford. He's known him since he was 7. I mean, what y'all want him to tell him? And he was talking, if you go back and look at his last podcast this past Sunday, it was kind of teed off about Boots. Because Boots is not, like I say, he passive aggressive. He won't touch Terrence pride all the way. But then he say little stuff and he's misleading. And you don't need to do that, Boots. Everybody know that they were not looking backwards at you only because it's looking backwards. You're not going to do that in your career neither. There's no shame in that. Larry Lopez is in the building was Poppy King. He said, I doubt Spence step aside. Yeah, that's what's going to have to happen. Then he's like flinging the belt. Come and get your belt, nigga, if you want your belt back. Why? Why did he want it back? He already had it. You never fought to get it. He went through a war to get it. Errol Spence was a dog in that fight. He wouldn't lay down. Anybody else, any other dude, the fight would have been over for sure in the second round. But it's Errol Spence. Harvey Dock had to save him from himself. But Boots, you won't even get in and do that. What you was hoping is that you could capitalize on the mistakes that all of us seen, but Earl fans didn't see. But all of us seen, regular boxing fans and especially Bud fans, we saw what we saw between the two matchup. But Earl fans could not see it. Boots saw it too. Boots saw that he lunges and lean. And Boots know he's powerful and can box and go backwards, forwards, walking side to side, all that good stuff. Boots can do all that. And he know that Earl can't do that shit. It's the skills, y'all. It's the skills. He wanted to be the one that cracked that nut. He wanted to crack the nut cracker. Y'all know I used to call Earl Spence the nut cracker. Because he loved to crack them nuts. All you gotta do is look at his fights. And Les Paris said, I don't think he showed that he is a dog. Who in the sense that he wasn't giving up. He was trying. He wasn't giving up. And he has been a dog. In the beginning, when he did hit him, I gave him the first round. There a couple of times he hit Crawford. He was coming in hard. He was trying to be a dog. But when you in there with a more vicious dog, it don't matter, I guess. That's what Earl found out, that Terrence was more dog than he was. So his little dogmatic ways didn't mean nothing. Because Terrence was more of a dog than he was. And that's what Boots was hoping that he could get to. And Les said he has to show that in the rematch. To me, I'm going to be real talk, y'all. Earl Spence don't deserve a rematch because of how one-sided it was. But I am a person who believe in the contract. They sign a contract, they need to honor the contract. The one thing that I would give to find out is how long do Earl Spence got before that contract is null and void. How long? You remember how Tyson Fury tried to swindle his way around Deontay? Deontay had to take him to court. You cannot make Terence Crawford wait for 2 years, 3 years, whatever. You can't do that. It's a time limit on it. And if the time limit was 6 months, yeah, I don't know how that plays out, to be honest, but I don't think Crawford could get in trouble. I mean, from July, they kind of like still in there 6 months. And Les said, but he didn't stand up for himself. Ain't the Spence we know. It was the Spence you guys knew, Alex. I guess for me, I think it was the Spence you knew, but it was nothing he could do. The day come, which I hope never, when Crawford get in there with somebody who was more dog than him, it wouldn't be nothing they could do. Remember Canelo and Bivol? Everybody just knew Canelo was gonna win. Everybody just knew it. They had him pegged to win. The dude got 50 some million or close to it or whatever. And he couldn't do shit with Bivol. Bivol was beating the hell out of his ass. 1, Bivol could take his punch. 2, Bivol is just as big as him. You're not going to bully him by size. And 3, Bivol can move his legs and feet. Canelo can't. He got quicksand on around his feet. He's the better boxer. Bivol is. So unless Canelo can pick them damn feet up and move around, he'll never beat Bivol. Unless Bivol don't want to, for whatever reason, be on his A game. Same thing with Crawford and Spence. If Crawford, for whatever reason, don't want to be on his A game, then anybody can beat him, even Spence. But if Crawford is on his A game, unless Spence know how to move them legs and feet and stop lunging and stop, doing the mistakes that Crawford was catching his ass with, he'll never beat Crawford. Boots makes mistakes. And Crawford is the wrong person to be in there with when you make mistakes. You couldn't cut off the ring from Chimichanga. What else you do? You do leave yourself open. You make stupid mistakes, but you're the bigger and powerful guy in the ring most of the time. You also have been spoon-fed. And Les said Bud is a beast and outboxed him. Yeah, he sure did. We tried to tell everybody that, Les. But I just wanted to come on here and kind of set the record straight. Boots is an excellent fighter. He doesn't have to go through no rigmarole. He just stand on his 10. He good right there. But he playing games. So now it's Crawford's fault. It's everybody else's fault because you made the choices you made. Make that make sense. You've been gunning for Earl Spence the whole time. And nobody even gave him a chance when it came to Earl Spence. Oh, he pipe dreaming. But now he got this big chance, or it's possible he can beat Crawford, but he couldn't beat Spence. Huh? And don't you go running no more, Crawford. Boots, what are you doing? It's kind of how I felt when you got out of line at the WBO. You had a championship belt right there in the palm of your hands. Whenever you hear people act like they discount the WBO, they scared. Just call them a punk. Just call them scared ass. Just call them a duck, because that's what they doing. If people gonna feel that way, they should have felt that way about when Zab Judah became undisputed in the 3-belt era. He was the last one. Okay, last time I checked, what belt came first? I think it was the WBA was the first belt. So when all these other belts like the WBC and the IBF got introduced, okay, we didn't change the rule and say, okay, you gotta get all 3 of them, or you gotta get all 2 of them to be undisputed. When it was one belt, you gotta get that one belt. So now people, because they don't got the belt, or the person that holding the belt, they ain't tried to see, Damn, that belt don't mean shit. I don't really want to go back to that back and forth that we had for 5 years, uh, leading up to the Crawford Spence fight. And Boots, you playing that game, and that's where I have to call you out. You are playing that game. The sanctioning body's still up to their old tricks. Fundora got smooth knocked the fuck out, but the guy who knocked him out ain't fighting for a belt. But Fundora is. Make it make sense. Jamel Charlo, you lost to Canelo. If you're gonna lose to somebody big, like Canelo or Pacquiao. But you got your legal issues because you probably was still mad that you lost. That's how y'all are. Don't get me wrong, I was a sore loser too, so I ain't putting myself above the fray. But as grown people in the sport, and y'all gotta take care of the sport, sometimes you gotta eat that ego and that pride. You came to all the Earl fights. He used to come to all of yours. Earl took a loss. He didn't come to yours. And that was the biggest fight. You got paid a grip. Earl couldn't bother. You didn't go to your brother's fight because y'all lost.
What's going on?
You trying to put your bird white on.
What's going on?
I like it though. That nigga said, "What's going on?" I can't do it.
You know what I'm
saying. Hey, look, Miss ATL, I see you over there, girl. And Les said Boots and Barrios would be a hell of a fight. They try to use him as a gatekeeper. Barrios, okay, whatever. I guess this is 15 minutes in the sun. But what you was you kind of said it, but re-explain. Was y'all getting what I was just trying to say about the Boots thing? First of all, did you get it? What I was trying to say? I ain't putting Boots down, but yeah, I wanted to show them rankings because a lot of people be talking about that now, and Boots he's misleading, and it's sad, ATL, because he's that good of a fighter. He don't have to do none of that.
But no, all I was saying is, you know what I'm saying, but before any of this, for any of these circumstances that happen, he got to see your boy Earl. I seen Earl jumping rope today, so you know what that means.
I mean, he was jumping rope.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You hear what he was singing?
It just mean he was what?
You hear the song he was singing though with it? Change gonna come.
Yeah. We gotta get used to the new position you find yourself in, Earl. I think Earl was nothing bad because, like I said, I thought he was a dog in there. I think he was disappointed. I think he was caught off guard, like one of them. I can't believe this nigga hit me like that. I can't believe this nigga pushed me and all that. Because
he wasn't caught off guard.
You don't think so?
No, he was already just going through some shit, so he tried to fight through it.
Quentin Brandy is in the building. Says, Miss T, salute my sister, salute King. What you mean he was going through some shit? It's fight night.
You know what I'm talking about. He just going through some things, man. You know.
In the fight, dog. I'm talking about the fight night.
No, I'm talking about before the fight. He was going through some things. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He said he got his ass whooped, so. But he also said he had some things going on, so. But that don't even matter, though, because they got to fight again.
It do matter when you say that. It was fight night. Everybody going through shit to fight.
They got to fight again.
I know, but we got to be. But considering ATL, what we've all been through in these last 5 years, we have to choose our words carefully. Everybody is injured when they come into a fight. Everybody is going through some shit when they come into the fight. When Floyd Mayweather fought Maidana for the first time, Miss Jackson just left him for Nelly.
That don't mean nothing. That's on him. If he loves sick trying to fight, that's on him. Ain't nobody
that's
tell him
the same thing
ain't nobody tell him to be goddamn a sucker for love. Ain't nobody tell him that.
But that's the same thing for Earl. It's not worth even saying.
No, it ain't,
like it's relevant.
Everybody had their different days, man. Everybody ain't great all the time.
Dog. Ooh, y'all hear this?
You don't be great every day. You don't wake up great every day, do you?
Why? But I'm saying,
answer the question though. Do you wake up great every day?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
But how is that relevant?
Because anybody can feel like you feel. They don't wake up great every day. And maybe on that day he just had a badass day.
But that's not relevant.
Yeah, it is.
Again,
you just said it was.
Floyd had a bad day, but he couldn't. It doesn't have shit to do with that boxing that was going down between. Yeah, he won, but he didn't. He wasn't.
Floyd
that
won.
First fight, I know, but that first fight with Maidana, that wasn't the best fight. I was worried for a second because he was heartbroken. He can say he won't. He was heartbroken. Miss Jackson left him. He had just did the thing with the babies.
But what they got to do with you getting your ass in the ring and fighting?
But that's what I'm saying. The same thing for Earl. It doesn't
matter.
Miss
Jackson. Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what a fighter going through. The fight night, every fighter is going through something.
Exactly.
So you can't.
That was my point.
But you making an excuse. You sound like
it ain't no excuse. You
Earl.
just agreed to my point.
Dude, no, I didn't.
You don't wake up great every day.
ATL, I'm gonna need you to follow the conversation.
I'm just saying. I asked you, do you wake up great every day?
Just because you asked me that don't mean that you can't say I followed you. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what Terence was going through, Earl was going through. Anybody who step in that ring, who gives a care what you're going through? On fight night, you knew ahead of time you had to do this fight.
Exactly.
Now, if you going through something so bad that you can't focus, then your only recourse is to call the fight out. But they don't do that. Boxers don't do that. So you can't use.
What you mean that boxers don't do that? Charlo did it.
Did what? When he broke his hand?
Nah, he was going through some love stuff and he was depressed and stuff. You forgot?
Yeah, and then he can't. He's still going through shit.
Okay.
But is that an excuse?
No, it's not.
Who cares? So we don't care about. So you don't care about. Maybe I heard you wrong. So you don't care what Earl was going through the night of the fight.
No, hell no.
Okay, maybe I heard you wrong. Nigga, because I was about to get. Hey, deep voice or not, I was about to get in you.
Hey,
Quentin said
you can't let none of that
stuff. Look, Quentin said he talking about what actually happened to him, not excuses. It's a difference. It don't got nothing to do with fight night though. That's all I was saying. Nobody. I don't get nobody that pass. I ain't give it to Floyd. And Floyd, that fight was somewhat close with Maidana, but Tony Weeks was letting Maidana get away with some dirty shit.
I'm pretty sure on the day of fight night, if you wake up in the morning with Rona, ain't nobody gonna tell you that shit. Ain't nobody gonna wake up and be like, we're gonna stop the fight because he got the Rona.
I think for Rona they would have. Because you can't know. If you wake up in the morning with Rona, that means you know you had it. And you can't do shit. And it's against the law, y'all, to have something that's contagious or could possibly kill somebody, and then you just knowingly have it and do it. Like, it really is against the law. Like, people out there with the HIV, and they go and they just, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to just be me and just contaminate other people. If they could trace back and find out that you knew you had it. So the only way you're going to know you had it is if a doctor told you.
But what I'm saying, do you actually think if, like, say on fight morning, everybody, the fight weigh in, all that shit happen, then Saturday it come, everybody already out stage where they at, ready for the fight, but a fighter wake up sick, either one, wake up with their Rona. You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do? Stop the fight, tell everybody to go home and refund it? Like,
I think if he was walking out to the ring or he was an hour or two away from the fight and he got exposed by somebody with the Rona, but he didn't know, I don't think he wouldn't even stop because he don't know. But I think if there was a test done, yeah, they gotta stop that, because if it ever came out that you knew, and I mean, man, that's attempted That's
murder on everybody.
Yeah, that's attempted murder or manslaughter or some shit.
You gonna get life on everybody.
You gonna get some unnecessary years for
20,000 lives.
Quentin said, "Okay, you already said that." But this Boots thing, y'all don't make Boots. Boots to me is dancing real close to that line of hurting his own self, like just with these narratives. We as a boxing fans do not want to go through this again. I had a couple of calls, my homeboy Coleman that I always talk to, and I got another friend that look at boxing, and they both was Earl fans, and so be it. But they refuse to see what Boots is saying and all that. And the whole from the jump, once Earl got beat, everybody was like, fight Boots, fight Boots. It's kind of like when Floyd would beat people and they'd be like, fight this person, fight that person, fight this person. As Floyd
I wasn't like that.
You might as well, I know you didn't. He was like, you might as well call me the golden boy because I done beat everybody on the squad. That was the funniest shit. Why? Because everybody, you build this person up as this person gonna stop you. They have been doing, my whole point is we just went through 5 years of this. And this is the year the pendulum is swinging the other way. We done heard with the Diddy shit, Cat Williams and motherfuckers.
Not Diddy.
We exposed the motherfuckers in 2024. This is Mr. What is that? Not Me Too. What's that? What's that one that when it started off?
Not Mr. Diddy.
Yeah. Like when they was I forgot what they called it. Like when the people first started exposing, like Weinstein and all them before that time. Man, they didn't expose Prince Andrew. Nigga got knocked off his perch. The queen was like, motherfucker, I didn't raise you like that. Damn. I ain't raised you like that. That's Strip him of all his shit. And know what? Word on the street, she was his favorite. You know, all mothers got favorites, even though they try not to say that. But she was his favorite. Yeah, she was his favorite, and she stripped that dude. When you see them walking, he is in civilian clothes. He is not known as a prince anymore. But that's all she did. But being a prince, he was saved, from catching what other people can catch, going to jail possibly or whatever. He was saved from that. But he ain't got no official titles. That shit was took. And now King Charles could have rescinded what his mama did. Now that she gone, King Charles said, keep the party going.
Hell no.
You nasty motherfucker. So you like to fight? You like to mess with little girls and the father of daughters? How dare you? Yeah, but they exposed him. So if he can get exposed, Jeffrey Epstein, Weinstein, they talking about Chris Stokes now. They be trying to bring up Jay-Z, Diddy, the comedians, Steve Harvey, all them. Man, people it's exposing. That shit is catching on everywhere. So this is not going to be the year of misleading facts and lying, because at this point, we done had our big hurdle. The fight happened. We just waiting on the rematch. We don't got to go through this again. You don't have to do this, Boots. You're a champion now. A paper champion, but you're a champion.
Hell no.
You might get Terence after all. Seeing that Zoo ain't available, Canelo, him and the Han, and motherfucking Jamel got legal issues. So Crawford, right now gonna fight. He might as well fight your ass. Jason Williams is in the building. He said, peace, Miss T, and peace, ATL. Did y'all go and check out me and ATL finest work with the diabetes conversations? Did they do that, ATL?
No, they didn't. No, I see a couple people tapped in, though.
A couple people did tap in. Y'all better go check that out. A diabetes conversation with a couple of know-it-alls, experts. That's what we are, ATL. We are know-it-all experts. But
we are doers. Doers. Mm-hmm.
We don't want y'all to step in the same spots that we did. Did anybody try out my little tip I gave yesterday? I said I'm gonna start giving some good tips at the end. Did you, ATL?
I didn't.
Did you hear it? Y'all better not hold.
No, not yesterday. No, not yesterday. I didn't hear it.
Oh, you didn't
hear
it?
My phone had died.
Y'all want me to repeat that? Look, I gave a good ass tip about credit. Good tip.
About what?
Credit. He said I'm cutting down on the dairy big time, but the meat gonna be hard to quit. Jason, just do it. Just do it, Jason. You can do it. You can do it. I'm telling you, look, it's hard for me too. I eat the ass off of chicken, but it's hard. But congratulations that when you say cutting down dairy, what you mean? If Jason, if you only eat cheese, don't worry about it. That's one piece of dairy. What other dairy that you find hard? Because I cut the butter, the milk, the cream. If cookies are made with some kind of dairy, I ain't even eating it. I cut all that out. The only and I told y'all, my only weakness in dairy is American sliced cheese. That's it. I can't even eat like real cheddar cheese. Like I can eat mild, or what's the other way they say it? ATL, what's the 2 ways they say mild for the cheddar cheese? They got medium, yeah. And mild. Them the only cheddar cheese I can eat, and I don't like all that other shit. I don't like cheese like that. But American sliced cheese is about the only one I can eat and not have to be praying to a porcelain god. But any other, I'm lactose anyway. Maybe that's why it was easy for me to cut out dairy. But if you think about it, a lot of shit that we all like is made in dairy. You know what I'm saying? But you can cut out chicken. Stop buying it in your house. Stop buying it. My tip, I'm gonna go back and forth with that. My tip for now, before I do that, ATL, what did you tell them to don't eat? Like, be specific. Don't just get nothing vague, ATL. I know you always say sugar, but be specific.
Well, my diet consists of no sugar, no carbs, which means you can eat beef, pork, chicken, fish, whatever. You can eat all the meat you want, and vegetables. You know, no potatoes, no rice, anything that's really carbs that can turn into sugar. Your body only supposed to have 3 grams of sugar per day. Carbs, every 3 grams is 1 gram of sugar, so try to stay away from that. And that's how I've been doing for the last 2 years now.
And that worked for him. But the only slight disagreement that me and ATL will have is that I propose that everything you eat turns to sugar. It just does. It don't matter what it was. It don't taste like sugar going down, but it turns into sugar because that's the only form that nutrients and minerals come in when you trying to absorb it in your body. It comes in the form of sugar. That's why everything you eat turns to sugar. But your body will never absorb fake sugar. That's our slight difference. And I did agree with ATL that if you eat nothing but meats, you can put your body in that stage of ketosis. Yep. But where I would say, and it will make you lose weight. And if you got diabetes and you lose a lot of weight, you can get rid of diabetes. But in the long
and let me tell y'all one more thing, I left something out. I left something out, Ms. T.
Okay.
And from what my doctor told me, for everybody who thinks salt is bad for you, salt is not bad for you. You actually need salt when you're on the keto diet or when you're staying away from sugar to keep your cramps away. You know what I'm saying? It's the combination of sugar and salt together that clogs your pores and not your pores, but your arteries up, which makes you have a heart attack. So if you could that's the main reason to stay off the sugar. And if you are diabetic, that'll bring you back down to normal levels. You just got to commit yourself to it. it's a brain thing because sugar, just like cocaine, meth, or anything, like that's how addictive it is, and that's why you hear a lot of people say, "I can't just stop it. I can't just do it," because it's scientists has already proven it's compatible to cocaine, as far as you needing the food. So if you want to get better, it's on you. But I'm telling you the simplest way to do it, just stay away from sugar. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying just cut everything off at once. If you can wean yourself off, especially with the drinks is the worst because it's like goes straight into your system. So if you can wean yourself off from that and try, still, eat some potatoes, some rice, and some bread. I mean, that's carbs. It's gonna turn into sugar, but at least you're not just drinking straight sugar. You know what I'm saying? Make an effort. You'll feel it, and you'll feel a whole lot better.
But here's the thing, and I have to add to this. The reason why I always ask ATL to be more specific, because real sugar can't hurt you, but fake sugar for sure. And that's what everything, when you walk in the grocery store, damn near everything, if you're not on the produce aisle, everything is filled with fake sugar. There's nothing, we as Americans, that's how we eat. Sugar, sugar, sugar everywhere, but it's fake sugar. Man, God's sugar, and I'm talking about sugar that's not man-made. Ain't no fucking way in hell you can overdo that shit. You can try. I guarantee you fail. I gave that as an assignment. I said, go and get some real sugar. Not what you think is real. Like, really look up something that's real. I think agave, or I think that's one.
I
Real
think I got
sugar
a
is
started
not
off.
going to be white. Real salt is not white per se. They everything is real mostly have color in it. So like the iodized salt that everybody buy that come in that little blue, dark blue label, or is it black with the little girl skipping in the rain or whatever she doing, that salt hurt you, yeah. But real salt, like the Himalayan salt, the Celtic salts and all that, that won't hurt you. And real sugar will not hurt you, because as I said, everything. Eat a cheeseburger tonight. By the time everything get broken down, it'll be in the form of sugar. That's the only way your body can use it, but your body don't want that, because that's that fake sugar that ATL talking about, that your body, that you need to stay away from. And when you mix fake shit and fake shit, fake salt, fake sugar, that shit together can fuck you up. You
Mhm.
Jason's, oh, let me get to some of this chat. He said talking to them people about that address situation, then make moves once your credit jump
Man,
up.
what
Diamonds.
you,
Yeah, ATL, that was the tip. Yesterday I was saying, if you want to get rid of bad things on your credit, now that you move, like for now, for ATL, you in a prime position to do this. Let's say you got bad credit or whatever. You get, and we can talk offline. I'll write you a letter for you.
yeah.
You can write a letter and you send it to all three credit bureaus. Put that shit in the mailbox at the same time. And all you asking them to do is remove your address from your credit report, because you don't live there. That's what you're saying. I don't live there. Don't go into a whole lot of explanation, but when I write it, you'll say your name in parentheses, your social, and then you say, I'm writing this letter in reference to this alleged address. Alleged says everything. Alleged says I don't live there no more. Alleged said I used to live there back in the day. Alleged, just put it in the words alleged, because you don't want to give too much information. And then you say, after you said it's alleged address, then you say, I do not live at this address, and say the address. Then you say, can you please remove immediately this address from my credit report? And they're going to say, okay. And when they take it off, all the debt that you had with that address is gone. And your credit score going, bing, is going to jump right up, because that debt going to be erased. You ain't hear me when I said that yesterday, ATL?
I hear you.
Oh, boy,
I
you better
did.
get on that one. Jason said, I weight train, so mentally I feel like I need meat for protein. Jason, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna say this. Um, Name some of the biggest large animals on Earth. And I guarantee you they graze. Elephants, giraffes, hippos, they all graze. They don't eat no meat. Now I ain't saying they won't fuck you up. and you meat, but they graze. They
You
don't
said
eat
you
no
mean.
meat. A hippo will come and bite on you and split you in half, wouldn't eat you to save their life. Hippos are mean. They big as hell. Jason Williams said corn syrup. Yeah, that's one of them fake ass sugars. He said, I use sea salt. That's a good one. Sea salt, Himalayan salt, Celtic salt. Celtic salt is going to help you absorb water. Because sometimes when people they think they drinking all the time, but they be dehydrated, it's because you're not absorbing it. That got a lot to do with vitamin D. You probably got a vitamin D problem. And if you got good amount of vitamin D, you have all the salt that you need. You got salt right there because vitamin D begets calcium. And calcium is AKA another name for salt. That's what that is. So just like ATL says, Doctor said, you need salt like you need water and everything else. He said, and I use that sparingly. Yeah, it's cool. Yep, because it's cooking with sea salt is not cool. It's good to put the sea salt on after you cook. But all those other seasonings, they're a form of salt. They are a form of salt. Like season all and all that other good stuff, that's a form of salt. Jason Williams said, "Big old gorillas, yep, them too. I know, but dang, it's hard to teach an old dog the tricks." Hey, Jason, that's what I be saying all the time. I be saying, look, my hairdresser. We be talking about this, and a lot of us girls, we be trying to get together and learn how to do these vegan foods like real good. But if you a good cook, what I'm learning is if you a good cook anyway, like you throw down in the kitchen with all the bad food, you'll be that good as a vegan cook. Cause you got imagination and you just good at cooking and you know temperature and all that shit. Everything's really about temperature. So like my hairdresser, she could cook, and I got my hair done like a month ago from her, and she was telling me, I saw her today. She was telling me she took what we was talking about for action. She said in the last month she been vegan it out, juicing, eating, cooking, everything. She was showing me all the pictures because every time she made a meal, she showed me the picture. I was like, wow, and I see the difference. She peeled weight off. She peeling weight off. Skin is clear. Like and she is proud of herself. I'm proud of her too, because like a lot of people don't believe. I said, you got a lot of energy, don't you? She said, Lord have mercy, I got some energy. Cause people our age, we be tired as a bitch. And YM the ape, welcome to the building. Is this Boots Ennis? Walls are closing for Crawford. You miss all the talk. Man,
Yeah.
Boots Ennis that came up in here. He said Boots versus Crawford oversees all these fights coming up. Boots is not a hot commodity, man. I'm not knocking him. You know how like you just didn't get there, Boots. Boots. You just didn't get there. You ain't until you have your moment, you don't have a moment. Y'all folks like to put the cart before the horse all the time. You're not pay-per-view. Until you do pay-per-view, you ain't pay-per-view. You ain't fought nobody for a champion, so we prefer people to fight people for champion, Boots. We prefer it like that. I ain't knocking you, Boots. This is Boots right here. YM the 8. That's gotta be Boots. But thanks for coming in. We ain't knocking Boots. Boots is good, 10 toes down like he is. But don't play them games. Don't act like Crawford been avoiding you. You avoided him. And you had your reason, but you avoided him.
We know damn well Boots been avoiding him.
I know damn well he did. At YM, you must be a former Earl fan. Yeah, Jason, he must be.
He a former Earl fan? That's messed up.
That's Boots, Jason. That's Boots right there. He come in the midnight hour. I've already explained why him.
Hey, that's messed up. You're ex Earl fan. That's messed up, LT.
Because it's like that, Jason.
No, it ain't. It ain't like that. Don't tell me that.
Hey, look, you better.
It ain't like that for me.
Highlight that voice, goddamn.
It ain't like that for me.
He tried to put the Barry White on me. ATL know I'm weak for the Barry White. He tried to put the Barry White on me all the time, but that ain't gonna work, ATL. Yeah. That ain't gonna work, nigga. You know damn well.
You know I'm die hard.
Look, them Earl sexual. It was any nigga that would do Wanted Jason.
Hey, I'm die hard. I ain't no Earl sexual. Win, lose, or draw.
Hey, look, I don't call you Earl sexual, but never mind what all of them call you.
Y'all can laugh right now. Y'all can go cry later.
You say I done pushed their button, huh, ATL?
You know, I can't let you talk about Earl like that, man.
Hey, Boots, we glad you in here, but we gotta call you out. Stop all that shit.
Hey, Boots, if you in here, whoop Crawford ass too.
Boots, good luck. But that ain't
Boots scared to fight. Crawford scared to fight you, Boots.
Boots, what Earl and Crawford did to you by stiff arming you, YM, because Boots want to be called YM. What Earl and Crawford did to you,
that mean your money.
It ain't totally wrong.
That mean he gonna take your money.
Whatever. Look, it ain't totally wrong, Boots, because you did that to Blair the Flat, but people did that to you. So we can't never get mad. That's just the way they do in boxing. When they get to, because y'all fight and struggle to get to that point, why would you look back? Boots, if you become undisputed, I don't expect you to ever look backwards. Fuck, that person that's trying to get to their point. Right. You're not responsible for their career. You only responsible for yours. So I get that you was asking them, but I get them too. They didn't need you. But until
Boots, you don't want that fight, Boots.
Hey, Boots, until you become
she wants you to go fight somebody else, Boots.
Boots, I don't care who you fight. You ain't gonna beat Crawford. Boots, listen to me.
She wants you to go fight somebody else, Boots.
Listen to me, Boots. I'm gonna drop the link. I need you to come on through. I need you to pull up.
Oh shit! It's not the link, not the hot link.
Come on, pull up, Boots.
You dropped the hot link.
ATL be trying to use his Barry techniques on me.
Drop the hot link.
Hey, look, ATL, fight his cap, man. Barry can say whatever. Look, Lord have mercy. Barry.
We're on in here, man.
We're like move on over there and bed and
not the sexy voice.
Take the them old draws.
Radio look. On Sunday voice.
Look, go sit on that bed and take them drawers off. I'll be like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
She said, put up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll tell y'all, man.
You was not in the army no more, Miss T.
What you mean? Yes, sir. I think I will go sit on the bed and do what you told me to do. My mama can tell you, even as a baby, man, I can't pay attention on a deep voice. That's why when dudes be trying to use that deep voice, I had to get back at them like, nigga, don't try to use no deep voice for me.
Hell no.
I know what you're trying to do. They be like, this bitch crazy. What she talking about? They don't know what I know. You be trying to get your Barry on though. Your voice pretty deep though.
I'm sorry, but I'll
that's why you got all the damn kids.
That's what a man supposed to do.
See, you ain't even got to try to have a deep. What you did the first time, Miss ATL, I bet his voice deep as hell in the morning.
Yeah,
when y'all wake up.
Yeah.
I've
been, I changed some stuff up for this year too, so that's probably might have something to do with it too.
Yeah, that's why you got all them damn
I can
kids.
breathe better. You know what I'm saying? I got more air.
You got more
You know what
air
I'm
and
saying?
everything. Got more bass in
Yeah.
the voice.
I've been
What I
working
tell
out
you to do,
every
T?
day. Now I've been working out every day, so that might have some. That might have been building some testosterone.
Yeah. Hey, Jason said Boots gonna take the IBF route, Miss T. He don't want no smoke. Yeah, he think Crawford pressed to go back. Why would Crawford be pressed to go back to do what he already did? But
Hey,
Crawford
I'm
might not
going
have
out with
no choice.
what you say. Crawford do though, Miss T. I heard you say this yesterday.
What?
Fight all his mandatories, right?
He ain't high. Boost is not his
What?
mandatory.
I heard you. I heard you stutter
Listen
a
to
little
me.
bit.
No, listen. Boost is not his mandatory.
No, I said, but you said that Crawford has fought all his mandatories, right?
He do, but Boost
No,
is
I said
not his
has done,
mandatory.
right?
Yes, he has. He's fought
Okay.
all his mandatories. But
Okay.
this is how it works. When you're the champion, you don't go begging for fighters underneath you. Please fight me. How it works is they get in the position 1, 2, or 3, and they petition to be the mandatory. If they not number one, okay, can you make this nigga fight me? That's how that works. Boost is not Crawford's mandatory. Sean
So
Porter
who the
was
mandatory?
never Sean Porter was never what's his name? Spencer's mandatory.
Oh no, he wasn't. Spencer's one
Not
more
not
belt.
when they fought.
I think Tim Zoo
Let me just
one
say
Tim Zoo
this.
the or not Tim Zoo, but was it? Oh no, it was damn Stanionis. One
Stanionis and
Stanionis. No, I'm saying
and
when he the mandatory for Spence and he took step aside of money and something like that.
but he was up he was in line for the WBA, and Spence paid him step aside and signed the contract promising he'll fight him next if he let Spence get the crack at it first. Because really it should have been Stanionis and Ugas. But Spence wanted it. So, Spence got in line ahead of Stanionis by giving him a contract saying, I'll fight you next. And then proceeded not to honor it. Okay. But when you are a champion or interim champion, like when you fight that title eliminator, that type shit, and you become the interim or get them Reggie belts, you no
The
longer
Reggie
get
Belts.
placed on the ranking.
You
You
call him the
no
Reggie
longer
Belts?
get placed. Yeah, but you no longer get placed on the rankings. That's why when Crawford was the WBO and Spence was the IBF, WBC, and WBA, you didn't see Spence on the WBO ranking, and you never saw Crawford on any of those rankings. Because when as a champion, you get pulled off that. So Boots Ennis is not Crawford's mandatory, and Crawford is not his. They can't. They both are champions at 147. They at a standstill. The best Boots can do is beg Crawford to fight him, but
Dang,
they not mandatory. Crawford could spend the rest of his career fighting other damn 147 pounders until Boots moved his big ass up to 154. Crawford could do that just to be out of spite. He could do that shit, and it ain't a damn thing Boots could do because who in 147 is gonna take the IBF off of Spence? And all Crawford got to do is fight the mandatory. Now, who at 147 is gonna beat Crawford?
Spence.
Them two, all they got. Spence in the rematch. Yeah, Spence in the rematch. But I'm just saying. If that wasn't the case, which one? Like when it's because Spence ain't beating him. You already know that.
I don't know that.
I don't know
I
what's
don't
wrong.
know that.
I don't care. I don't care what Barry got to say about it. You know,
I don't know that.
Hey, Miss ATL, I got to hear from you because I asked you a question
That was the
before the fight. I got to hear from Miss ATL. I asked you a question before the fight. Who you thought was gonna win? Spencer Crawford. Now that you've seen both of them fight, what you think about the rematch?
I'm excited for it. I think this time Spence is gonna be like ready. He's gonna be on his A game this time.
Mm-hmm.
mean, everybody
ATL, man. I ain't mad at you, Miss ATL. That boy got a deep voice over there. Stop siding with motherfucking ATL. Stop siding with his ass. You know damn well Spence ain't got no skills compared to Crawford. Come on, Miss ATL. Sometimes you gotta say fuck Bird. Sometimes you gotta say fuck Bird.
Got hard over here.
He said keep hope alive. I know, Jason. They better keep hope alive.
Yeah.
Miss ATL over there siding with ATL because he be putting the barrier on her every day. That's wrong. That's wrong. Cause she know damn well. She know damn. She know what she saw.
We both know what we saw. That don't mean that.
But yeah,
we know what we saw. He know what he saw. Well, no, he didn't. He say he didn't, but
yeah, he just.
You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't there.
It wasn't his night. Goddamn.
Yeah. Girl, stop the madness. Stop the madness. Lord have mercy.
If you're out there, Earl, I'm riding for you today till it's over with.
For real.
The deaths that we women would go through for Barry. Let me tell y'all something. Speaking of Barry, I went to the store today. I put this on my Facebook, right? I went to the store today, so I got in Best Buy, and I looked to my left, and the way they got it set up on the left is where all the appliances are. So I see a whole bunch of people over there. I'm thinking it's a sale going on. So, I'm trying to move my ass over there, put my eyes on it to see what sale going on so I don't miss shit, right? I'm finna shop. You know what I'm saying? Like when it get like a frenzy like that, I'm like, I'm finna get one too, So I get over there. But when I seen it in front of the door, I didn't know men, women, whatever. When I get there, ain't none but women. So I'm like, well, what sale? Ain't no sales. Ain't no flyers over there saying this is 75% off or 50% off. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, wow, everybody huddling over here by appliances. So I started to go walk where the computers and all that, the devices and shit, the geek shit, that I like. And as I turned to walk to my right, I seen what everybody was looking at. Dude was standing in front of me. Listen, nothing against the guys. Y'all gotta power through this one right here. Miss ATL, you're gonna appreciate this. I know that y'all probably seen them videos where the black guy come out the hut, the tall African, he tall and robust and just a specimen, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he said a specimen. Oh,
if anybody could have a perfect body, this nigga would have the kind of nigga that when you look at him, you can't help but stare. Ain't shit you can do about it. Your mouth drop, you can't look but stare. But you don't try to be obvious with it. But at the same time, you got it because, like, he like tall and built in the way that we probably be fantasizing about. But anywho, I'm looking. I got caught in the daze. That's what these ladies was over here looking. Now let me tell you, baby, it was white ladies, black ladies, Puerto Rican, Latino, it was all kinds over there. We was all over there trying to catch a glimpse. The dude was aware. I feel that he was aware that everybody was looking at him because he stood in this one spot. He just wouldn't turn around. Now guess what he had on, Miss ATL? Girl, he had on some gray. He had some gray motherfucking sweatpants on. Ooh. I was like, I know I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving till I get a frontal. Hell no, I ain't leaving. So I'm walking around like I'm looking for these sales too. I'm looking for the products too. Ain't nothing on sale. But But we all knew he had to turn around and walk away. And when he turned around, it was like we was all at attention. When I tell you the frontal of it all, the snuffleupagus of it all.
Hell no, you nasty.
I was like, oh my God, where they make these people at? Like, you know how y'all think about Wonder Woman and it's an Amazon, Amazon. And you know the way people think about it, like Wonder Woman's story. She from the Amazon. She supposed to be beautiful, but it's a whole island of them. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just saying, what if it's a whole island of these dudes? I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't express this. I think men would look not on no funny shit, but they would look like, man, I'm trying to get that way. Dude, body was such a good, a hot specimen. Like as far as the way you would think you want your body to be as a dude, just you will gravitate. You would be like, man, how did you work that out like that? Like I can't explain it. He one of them people you got to look at. It's not like he was that fine in the face. He had a nice haircut. He was nice trimmed and everything. Nice look coming in, little bit of hair on his face. But oh my God, that body was a specimen. And then that snuffleupagus in the front. Who? Girl, I said I fight all y'all bitches over here for that one. Don't play. Don't do me, ma'am. Don't do me. I like, but I mean, it's funny to me because you rarely see people like that. AT, I'm gonna throw you a bone. It's just like if y'all see women in the sundress, and what the guys say, y'all always say you can't hide shit in the sundress. We see it all. Y'all be losing. I see so many men be stopping in their steps when women got sundresses on, but it's rare that you see a guy that make you be like, what? Like you just can't help but stare. Because Miss ATL, we good about giving a quick once over, aren't we?
Yeah.
We don't stay too long, and we see everything, but we don't stay too long. But when you have to stop and stare, imagine what this dude was. He was kind of healthy in the right places. Snuffleupagus. Yes. Girl, I mean, and look, when he finally walked up on out, we followed him all the way to the door. Girl, we couldn't do nothing but look at each other and smile and laugh. I dare not say it. I ain't gonna say it to my white home girl, and she won't say it to her Latino home girl. We ain't gonna say nothing, but we all was like, God damn.
About to go to jail. Y'all about to go to jail.
Why were you going to jail?
Sexual harassment.
We didn't say nothing. We just all. We won't gonna let him get out that stove without
reckless eyeballing.
Reckless eyeballing for sure. Jason Will said, "Say it again, ATL. I don't mean nothing." He said, "All right, Miss C, hold it together." This must be the after hours version of the show. Miss T started trouble. No, I'm telling y'all like that. Look, I had to make a little thing and put it on my social media, and I don't never do that. Like those. I know I ain't the only one that's seen the African dude come out the hut and all these women pandering to him and shit, or they have an African dude. You know, you can tell it's in Africa. And he just walking down the street, and even the dudes getting out his way, and the girls are like, "What the fuck?" Like when you see somebody like that,
damn it, man.
I put on my shit.
Hey, Minty, you said they'd be like Kevin Hart. Yeah. What?
Yeah. When I say,
what you saying? Yeah, for you ain't never seen a long.
Look. I was thinking of Snuffleupagus, and when Snuffleupagus say, "Hey, bird,"
no.
Hey, bird, hey, T, hey. Look, I'm just saying, like that shit was wild. Like yeah. Look, I'm gonna get off it, but I ain't look. Let's suffice to say, I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
Had dreams and everything.
I can't get that image out of my head, but he know better. The more to the story is y'all just stop wearing them gray sweatpants.
Hey, so what you telling me right now is you wake up and you be watching Sesame Street every morning.
That's a good one. I'm telling you, I don't need to see your blood pressure in your sweatpants. I'm just saying. Woo! We got a monster on aisle 5.
So we got plenty of noodles over here.
I'm just saying that was a weird day. I left. I was smiling the rest of the day in that damn store. I left. I was smiling.
You ain't even buy nothing.
Nope, I didn't. And you know what? That's true. I did not buy nothing. I did not buy nothing. I don't know what.
Like,
I did not buy nothing. But they didn't have what I wanted on the shelf. But normally I can't go in places like Best Buy and don't buy nothing. But that today I didn't. I just about face, turn around and walk back to my car. And I was like, Lord have mercy. And if his girl know he came out the house like that, she gonna beat him down. She gonna beat him down. Now look, Miss AT, I ain't even wait around to see if he had the Barry White going on with him. Lord have mercy.
Look, he probably felt like Mike Tyson. How you doing, Miss T?
That's like grown-ups when that guy was flexing and shit. He came over there. What's up, ladies? And they bust out laughing, out the hollering. But yeah, if he'd have said something, excuse me, ladies, and had the Barry White, I probably would have did the Rasputin and fell out in the aisle like, oh. Nah, it's yo, I'm just saying, yo, like those are rare days. Thank you, God, for giving me that day this year. Gave me something to smile about. Anyway,
you done put an ESPN on and
shit. Miss ATL. No offense to you, Mr. ATL.
I'm good. You know me.
All the women. And it won't. We was a rainbow coalition over that motherfucker.
I would have been to gray sweatpants. What?
Grace, like, boy, you know you wrong, but thank you.
Sure, thank you. Can I get a check, please? Never mind, I ain't eating nothing.
Like, Lord have mercy. All I gotta say, today was a good day. Oh my God. But let me stop. But that was funny. And you know I couldn't wait to put it on my social media. My homegirls was laughing their ass off. They called me. I like, y'all should have been with me. Who knew? I didn't know. But anyway, let me get my head out that, let me revamp and come back. But yeah, that tip, y'all do try, huh?
I said just come back to PG-13.
I know, come on back to PG-13. Y'all try that tip out, please. Like I said, please, because I know this is an epidemic these days in America. Because I done ran across 5-6 little kids, ain't even in puberty yet, got diabetes. Come on, Shawty, go look at that conversation that me and ATL had and learn something for yourself and all that. And don't be scared to try to tip out. What's the worst they can say is no, but I promise you, they ain't gonna tell you no. You write them a letter, you send it off, and they're gonna say yeah, and they're gonna take it off. Now, your debt collector cannot write them back, because what they do is they take shit off when you ask, and then they call the debt collector or the creditor and say, yo, can you prove that this what you have put in there is true? And then they try to send proof. But who are they going to call to prove you live where? Unless you, the only way I can see that can be stuck on there is if you didn't like pay your mortgage or your rent or something, and you're a bad credit for that. Now they're gonna try to stick it to you and keep their thing on the credit because they can prove that you had a lease. But that's Privacy Act. So your debt collector, your creditors, they cannot get a hold of your lease. And all debt is attached to an address. You can't just say, oh, Davina or whoever got this this debt and then put that person's social or whatever, and then turn around and say, "Oh yeah, that's who had the debt." They can be like so many contract. And when you get a debt, how you don't give an address? What credit line y'all open up without an address? The answer is none. But all the debt that you had when you stayed at that address, if you can get that address removed from your credit report, all that debt is gone off your credit report. You can revamp and jumpstart your credit just like that. And it will jump up. But now the good credit you have might be attached to that too. But even if you get all your credit, let's say your good and your bad wiped off, you can start over. And you can easily go open up a line of credit, get a secure Visa card. I recommend everybody do that for $200. Get your bank know what that is. Apply for one of those. You giving them the $200, and they give you a credit card. And after about maybe 5 months, they'll give you your 200 back, and they'll turn it into a unsecure. And they'll be like, well, you had a $200 limit, now we're gonna give you $1,500. And then I'm telling y'all, man, it's so many ways. But I ain't gonna say too much because I don't want to confuse nobody. Just start right there and see what it do for you. Other than that, I ain't got nothing else. ATL, Miss ATL, what y'all got?
Oh no, we good, man. We know. We were just listening to you. We stopped by,
Cool. I tell y'all no lies, y'all. I tell y'all things I do and things I've been through. Because I can't talk about nothing that I don't know and ain't experienced. I just can't. I ain't that type person. But anyway, in my Pamela James voice, peace.